Namaste Padre. This is a very unique, one of its kind interview that I am taking of yours. We are in a busy train from Kozhikode to Kasargod, and all the passengers are sitting waiting for the train to start. And I am trying to take an interview of yours. Welcome to this interview. This is the first question for you. See, if you had you been in looking at your capacity and capabilities, had you been in popular print or visual media, you would have been the national head of one of the newspapers or TV channels. But currently, you are heading a farm journal which is having a circulation less than 10,000, and naturally, its spread is only among the farmers and the farm enthusiasts. So, why have you made this switch from popular media to farm journalism, and why have you made this career choice for yourself? Could you please explain? Thank you.
Vasant, I don't have any regrets because I am happy in doing what I am doing. And the reason is, you know how the mainstream journalism is going on in the country and how it has changed post-COVID earlier and all that. And not that somebody is very professional. In the mainstream media also has lot of tension, lot of challenges and things like that. Nowadays, pursuing a particular story which none other touches, generally people don't like to do that. But one area where I am very happy, some of the stories what we have been doing in Adike Patrike, it doesn't get before doing the story you don't get even four results in Google. So much written documentation is almost zero, and you don't know whom to talk to. There is a great job satisfaction in doing such stories, and it may not create a large number of ripple and all that, but in this country there is a small creative minority who appreciate and even go out of the way to help and cooperate. Take for example our Kadu Kittale story. We came to know about maybe 2 months ago, September 25th. But suddenly I was not knowing Kadu Kittale at all. The other day one journalist told me, Kadu Kittale Hostu sir. I said, you are
only... You mean the wild orange?
Yeah, you are only 3 months later to me, rather younger to me. I learnt it about 3 months ago. But once I took that story, what Natesh Kodanakatte did a small revival effort. Taking that story, I approached different groups and asked some pertinent questions. Facebook, all that. Then slowly matter started percolating. Then I came to, there is one Sihi Kanchi in Uttara Kannada district, not only Illi Hannu. In this Sulya area, there was a Nai Kittale. And till now we have identified only 3 trees. There may be more, but all our work of identification and other things in revival, whatever efforts, it has been done the help of social media and volunteers who is not doing any job for a remuneration. And we haven't used the very expensive NAFTA for this. Because if somebody has to do a varietal selection, if you know that, the institution has spent a lot only on travel and fuel. And second thing, these people who volunteer, say how to catch such people, that is, I catch people by the way they react to the issue, by the sentences they frame and all that. I catch people. So I think, oh, this man will be a volunteer. I talk to him straight. So that's how, we in November issue could publish 20 plus trees, promising trees of these from different districts. And that is a very interesting side to that. See, publishing this is only a small part of the whole process. It is not the cycle. Our magazine or any magazine, after a few days it will become raddi and people pack peanuts, that. But here, for us it is not an end, it was only a means. So what we did, for those people who are very keen, we made them to know that in your district this farmer has this tree. And he already we have talked to them, or they said, I can share a few scions if genuinely interested people are there. So catch hold of a craftsman, or if you know this booty or something, go to his farmer. You can make, and within 1 year you can plant this kadu kittale in your homestead. And till now there is no history of planting kadu kittale trees. It all come through animals dispersion and all the things. Nobody has planted that, and where it is planted it gets more water, less shade, so the fruit quality suffers. If you bring it to your homestead, and probably this is to 2023, if we delayed and if you started searching for this maybe in 2030, probably you would not have got even one tree.
The plant itself would have been
Yeah. So this is one case in example. Say even mushroom is such a case, and I am damn sure that there are many people lampooning, and then making troll about us. See, when Araknut is price is 600, 500 rupees, this man is toying with the idea which doesn't have any commercial value. Well, commercial value and other things we are doing, and but not fully that way. See, this is and second advantage, though your magazine is a pretty small magazine which has a limited circulation, once you do the story, I don't mind sharing the same story to any mainstream journalist. If they talk to me, I will just send them a small synopsis. If they are interested, without taking any credit or this one, I give them photographs. See, it is not for credit. Finally, we are publishing. It should spread. Let all the Akashvani, because today what has happened? There was a day when you read Prajavani, Deccan Herald or something, you read almost most of the news. Today, information sources are vivid, and nobody reads or goes through a single source. So what has happened? You know something, you don't know many things. This is happening everywhere. So let Akashvani do it. Let local people forward your story. So this way, once it appears in media, any neglected fruit or any neglected this one, that gets without their knowledge, it gets a certain level of respectability. People start talking about it. Sometimes it is only lampooning, but that's okay. I appreciate. So I don't, and again, people don't generally, and who are the mainstream people who take these stories? They are also very serious journalists. Otherwise, they don't generally do that. So, serious, we have so many things. We take up such an issue, which probably without our intervention, it will go astray. That sort of subjects we take. And it is very difficult unless you do and you highlight and you reflect it through some media. It is very difficult to tell a mainstream colleague. But once it is published, they will understand the importance and things. All these years, even take for example this textile dye, and people find that it is a subject, and of course they want a sort of ready to cook material, which I happily give them. So we are making a dent where there is a darkness.
Yeah, so you mean to say, to do this kind of a very unique work, you have preferred to stay in this kind of
yeah, it's Vasant, I tell you, it's a great pleasure. I tell you, it's a great pleasure. Even today, if I have got this one Chittagittale person, I will add him to the group, even though it is dead night and all. You should have that much. Without passion, you can't do anything. And people will call this as madness, pagalpan. Pagalpan चाहिए हमारे को. Without pagalpan, आम आदमी से काम होना बहुत मुश्किल.
Based on your question itself, I will ask a related question.
Yeah.
You said most of the newspapers go to Raddi in a matter of week or a month.
Yeah.
But I think Adike Patrike is one unique magazine which farmers collect over months, and some of them even put book binding over it and refer to it in the early in the next years whenever they have a doubt. So how has it been? How has the journey been to convert an ordinary magazine to a magazine which is collectible and referable?
Vasant, I tell you, to be very honest with you, it is not a rosy story. There was a time when Adike Patrike was read with more interest and all that. Now, after COVID, after all this digital innovation and all that, the magazine comes to your house. It is either in his father's almirah or somewhere, and the son doesn't read it. But there was a time when North Kannada, especially Shirsi area, They wouldn't buy a magazine unless they don't read it. Nowadays all are changing. The reading habit has come down a bit. So whatever great thing you publish, it goes, see there are two things, buying, reading, getting registered. Reading can be a, running reading. You don't grasp the material. So nowadays, and again there is our mind, whole of Indian mind by default is negative. So wherever some success stories are done, where there some achievement is done, somebody like a Doddappa of joint family, they have patted on back, oh, hingalla vasanta, maduva, sari avuttu, ella iddu anidde, that sort of cajoling and coaxing. Whereas, it is like a pendulum, mind is like a pendulum. Even some pessimist and, naninda agodilla, naninda agolo sort of, with right kind of motivator, he can change the mind is like a pendulum. That can be changed if you get a right force. It is not possible with everybody. There are some great motivators. You have seen that. You spoke about one this morning, Prabhakar Karan, who's outstanding humanitarian. This one created a million. That would not have happened in any other's hands. He's a great motivator. So that way, this India is suffering. Indian agriculture is suffering. Not this price rise, all these issues, drought. Yeah. One thing I want to tell is, see, agriculture is suffering from many challenges. You can't undermine that. There are challenges, but challenges are there in many fields. But it is the biggest malady for agriculturists. I am not pinning this one to any communities. The biggest setback for farmers is this, a sort of what you say, negative mind. See, you close your minds. Yesterday, Ramesh Delampadi in a presidential speech, he made a point. See, we comment about professors who don't have ears. But what about general farmers? Okay, you reject or you support, that's a different thing. But can you give a hearing? See, you have done some new thing. That is lacking. And idaga, that is the first impression. Idaga, and if that is successful, idi aga. Alli kajeleko. Kaje anamani bere mandi. So this is well, and I have seen this in agriculture. We speak about this pH, acidity, liming is necessary. If the pH, unless the pH is neutralized, any manure you give will not work. Same with the human mind. If you want to bring change, you or anybody wants to bring change, his attitude, his negative attitude has to be nullified, and he has to be brought down to that, what is that, balanced level. Correct. This is and why Maharashtra people are, even with small areas, they are doing success. And why they don't show their gardens when Karnataka visitors go there? There is a lesson in that. And Keralians, one main, whatever the drawbacks and other things, any new crop if they are making, first they will study Wangana window, market window. That is the first criterion. If that is not there, they are not amused at all. They are ready to cut it also. So I think we have many things to learn before we complain a lot. Our complaining has become reached so much level that even we can't think of our next generation to continue in this job. If they are hearing you early morning, evening and all that, all this murmuring, paradoshana and things like that is enough to say, for him to find in a greener pasture anywhere.
You were hinting about some of the challenges in continuing the print journalism, kind of, because you were saying earlier people used to read, now they don't read, etc.
Yeah.
So considering this situation, now when we observe most of the other magazines, they all have an online version, they all have a YouTube channel in their names. So they know that people are not patient enough to wait for the print to come to their home.
Yeah, people want fast, people want crisp.
Yeah. So I think Adike Patrike has still not ventured into those kind of channels.
True.
So in this situation, how do you think Adike Patrike will have a future, or how do you? What are you planning for that?
Yeah. No, this is a good point you have realized. But you know what has happened is, to bring a magazine of this kind, even in print media, we have to slog a lot. There is no human resources left We don't have many hands to do the job. That is the issue. And again, somebody, you can hire a person in, if it is in Bangalore, big cities, this digital version doing that and all that, requires management, resources, so many things. So that is the reason why we couldn't do much in this field. But whatever point you have made is definitely relevant and has to be worked about. This suggestion has been coming from many friends like you, but I don't know how we can bridge the gap, because we don't have much resources to pay as well, because you see the kind of remuneration people make and all that. Even what about the print journalism today? Any ordinary sub-editor who was just joined the job last year, the kind of remuneration he gets, we can't pay that. So there are some issues like that. So far, why it has run is it's because of its strength. People know that whatever is offered is reliable.
Padreji, Adike Patrike is known for a number of successful campaigns that it has run.
True.
For example, on jackfruit or arecanut, or very recently the wild oranges
wild orange,
and etc.
Mushroom, dhoti.
Yeah. So among all these, what has been most interesting to you? Which one would you regard as the dearest to your heart? Would you like to comment on that?
First one is jackfruit, no doubt. Of course, but it was Adike Patrike was an instrument, and we used all the leverages possible among our friends, media men, mainstream people. We always take help from all. It is when we sing, we see that there are some co-singers with us. We make it ensure. And second thing, jackfruit is one. Nowadays, it has caught up like anything. And now jackfruit has so much of spokesmen. Now it has reached a level. And second thing, dhoti, I would believe, because unfortunately, I don't know why, for such matters of long vision and all that, we don't see much positive feedback or response or reaction coming. May it be textile dye. There was nobody who told whole of India that arecanut textile dye can be made. Though this Desi was making it since the 18 years, it was not known outside, and it has great scope also. Of course, we didn't just we were satisfied just by publishing. We did a lot of activism as well. same is the case with dhoti, North Kannada, and the great confidence what we gained is from Mooruru Kallabbe, where today not less than 200 job workers would be working on dhoti, and I am told that there is only one person who is climbing manually. Okay. That gives us a lot of and there were many issues. With dhoti, it's like a serpent. There are many issues to handle, control, and people like R.G. Hegde, I will call me as a common man scientist. A simple example: the trees having this what is your pepper vines. People think that's very difficult. What these people have shown is, you pull the bunch once, leave it, two, three pullings, and then immediately pluck it. Then what happens? It falls eccentric. Of course, it will take some extra time, but it is worth, because his pepper is not affected. So today in North Kannada, there may be not less than 10 to 15 cooperative societies which are running this, and the kind of, if there is a job working team for the kind of farming you are doing, may it be pepper, may it be arecanut, may it be coconut, it is a win-win situation. In the sense, it is good for people, skilled laborers, it's good for you, because it reduces the tension of both the sides. Many people don't understand. They say it is too costly. Per bunch, 8 rupees. Oh God, who will pay this? They have never calculated how it works out. So, and again, what the Pingara has done in the last 2 years, I am very sorry to note that there was no the second effort in the whole of erstwhile Dakshina Kannada. Though there is high demand on this. So, I have a feeling that many of our farmers take pleasure in complaining rather than taking interest in its solution. This is a very bitter observation, but I have been convinced in many things, may it be water, may it be dhoti, I have seen like this. And it's again, no, the Chogaru, take for example Chogaru. All, Chogaru it has a great scope, and which was rather thrown like this old engine oil and all that. And Japanese, many people like this beautiful, very decent color and all that. We have shown how people can work, but unfortunately, even in the giant cooperative society, of course, they bought our book, but no much creativity has happened. How can you take forward? You can call a meeting, maybe 30 people. That, a small meeting will people air these opinions, and that's how things can be done. Except Adike Patrike and some magazines or dailies which are published, this civil society published a cover story. But unfortunately, from the Togaru belt, we didn't get that the kind of response that could have been come. This is only, I am telling only a classic case only.
Yeah.
Our experience goes like that.
Like that.
But that since you are interviewing, I am telling you, we are not deterred from that. We do what we think is good. And my feeling
irrespective
is
of what
irrespective of the
people think.
yeah. And second thing, what I have been all these movements, one thing I am very happy, and it instills confidence in you, because if you are sure of the cause you have taken up, if you have taken up not for your cause, it is not selfish, then even if continuously 5 doors are closed, they will never open. The 6th window will open for you, and that will be the beginning of a history. That has happened in many in this one. There will be very creative small groups here and there, but the kind of interest. Other day we came to know that is one Hyderabadian natural dye expert has used this Arakanut dye and made batik cloths and exported to Japan 20 years ago. What a moral building this one for you. What else you need for doing this? That is like that.
Among the campaigns that we discussed now, you didn't mention about your rainwater harvesting campaign that you have run for years together, I think. So how would you like to remember the effort and effects of that work that is done by Adike Patrike?
Yeah, good. That's a good question. But there are 3 kinds of people. One kind of people with open mind, they will ask what to do, they will implement. Various degree of success they may get. And the second one, unless they are driven to the wall, they won't do it. The third one will, even if God comes in a new avatar and try to persuade them, they are not to be persuaded. ನರಳಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಚ್ಚಲ್ಲ, 2 ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸುಲಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this always there. So it is a small creative minority, but one thing I am happy is that you go to any village, any Karnataka district, there are some people who have done it passionately, and they are guiding other people who are open mind. So that is happening. But this requires a lot of this one. Even if the government, that was our demand, government doesn't do anything, even if the government doesn't give subsidy, let it in each district, let it build up a rain center where many models, all the multimedia. If Vasant Kaji has done some rainwater harvesting, a small video, and whatever he has done, all this is available. One person goes, serve him coffee, take him money, one day let him sit and he will study and come back. This one thing I should appreciate in Karnataka, since I have one leg in Kerala and one leg in Karnataka. Kerala, unfortunately, even many people who are in the higher strata of society sometimes even don't think it is fit to buy a small pipe to do this rainwater harvesting unless there is a subsidy. But Kerala, there is good section of people. If you convince and if you give them right kind of advice, they won't wait for the subsidy and do that. That virtue I have seen. There is a good number of people. But unfortunately, there are no people to give the right kind of. All solutions has to be site specific. So without seeing site, that's difficult. So people just they go to see the videos, and that's how they are doing it.
Regarding water conservation effort, would you meet tens of people every day? So among them there would be readers of Adike Patrike who would come back to you and say that I had water problem and I read Adike Patrike and now the problem got solved. I followed some of the approaches which were given in Adike Patrike. So would you like to quote one or two of those such success stories?
So, but Vasant, let me be honest again. Feedback is very, very less. Whatever you offer gold also, feedback is very, very less.
But I'm sure regarding rainwater harvesting, there would be.
Yeah. There was a gentleman in Karkala, a retired KSAB engineer, Naveen Chandra Jain. He had severe problem. So what he did, I didn't go there. I might have instructed him on telephone. He made his own arrangement. So many pipes and two. Very simple, maybe 2,000, 300,000 rupees. And with that, and he was using water judiciously. Every May, he would call and tell, sir, this year I didn't have any stress. If I am not there, he will tell my wife, tell sir that I didn't have any stress. Of course, now he has stopped, but there are people who have done this, and such people have passion. They do this extension in their own way, but unfortunately, documentation, the urge for documentation and other thing is very less among our people. ಇದೊಂದು 4 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಎ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫ್. ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ for every fruit to be harvested, you put a peg and you have to pull it out. That won't come on its own.
Okay. One last question. You have been one of the pioneers in using internet for journalism most effectively, I believe. I think we met sometime in 2008.
That workshop.
In that, rainwater harvesting
that was first
related.
Face to face.
Workshop. And at that time itself, you were familiar with the internet, and the rest of them were not. Later, of course, the online tools got much better, and our capability to use them also got better. So, would you like to guide other journalists and other people about how your handling of internet helped you, and how could others do it?
I am not technically that savvy, and I am not updating myself, but I am happy in what I am doing, because many people, in the beginning, people were, even our late Udupa, our Manipal Foundation, he was telling, computer kannir varistada. I said, varistade. It all depends on the person who is sitting in front of the computer. Tools doesn't matter. So they say, they lampoon that WhatsApp University. Very same WhatsApp University can do wonders. And second thing, many of people don't know this positive strength of this one. I get some questions sometimes. Sir, ಈ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಮುಚ್ಚಳ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ನನಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗಿ I don't. Then I said, are you in a group? Put a photograph at this one. Then immediately things get this one. So you are searching among a big lot. It is good to talk to many people, and finally you get a result. You might not get a result also, but social media, but for social media, Kadukuttelek would not have come out. Mushroom would not have come out. Even textile would not have come. We are heavily leaning on this social media, and even a story from Malaysia where 2 Punjabis developed a 30 acres jackfruit garden. That would not have come to the fore. You have such a powerful bridge. Sometimes you may fail in the halfway. He might not respond. All these things can happen. But if you are able to develop some rapport, and he is serious and you are serious to do, and he is eager to communicate, things happen. Because getting Ken Lau to answer to my questions, you won't believe me. Ken Lau had made a picture of this jackfruit world record, Guinness record. At that time, another foreigner told me that, are you interested in publishing? I said, I am interested. But whose photo is that? That is Ken Lau's. I said, I will publish. No, don't do that. I said, I don't have the money to pay. See, you just keep that money part. You just send him a very polite request. I did it. This Ken Lau, to my surprise, he didn't raise that question. He thought his answer was such a way that you need not ask about this, and he started telling as if a long lost brother. He was telling, friend, what we are doing here and all that. You won't believe me. In 15 days email exchange, I ran a cover story. Krishika Sankatakke Ken Lau prescription. That was a wonderful story, and it was the in thing. One thing I was happy, the kind of crisis what we face here, that is there. Only the degree and other things may be different. They are also facing this retired people. They put, because of some agents, they put all their lives earned money into a coffee estate, and finally, since they don't know how to drive, so that's happening. So all world, that's the same language. If you are able to this one, that is quite helpful sometimes. But let me tell you, sometimes you may commit mistakes, blunders also. I don't say, because see, because of your lack of knowledge of a particular subject, or if somebody is very much determined to build up a fake world with you, this may happen.
Okay, one last question regarding the beginning of your career. You used to work at Prajavani in Bangalore. So, what was the situation where you decided to quit Prajavani and come back to your hometown, and start
No,
working?
it was not like that, Rosan. I was a guest editor only for this water issue.
No, earlier you used to work at Sudha or Prajavani, right?
So all as a freelancer. Everything was as a freelancer.
Okay.
But this one, this on World Water Day,
That I know,
they
okay.
wanted me to do.
That is only on a
and
day.
I put several conditions. If you are publishing only on that day, I am not interested. If you, for the sake of halwa and all, don't make me to come to Prajavani. And I gave such concrete suggestions and so many book publication. Everything was planned, and it was a damn scheme. It was a damn scheme. The kind of interest I took, the Prajavani group didn't respond. We created a WhatsApp group. More than the gurus, Shishas were not that much responding. And I know we can't blame them also, because you can't blame them also, because you want to bring many interesting stories as a chief of a magazine, but you don't entrust or assign your particular correspondent to do that and give him time instead of running behalf of the minister. I was happy to see at least half a dozen people who were very much interested to work in coordination with me. Somebody was ready to go to Rajasthan and all that, very senior scientists, but it didn't happen.
Okay. I didn't know the details of that. Okay. Thank you very much, Padreji. I think we had a very lengthy discussion.
People take interest in such things.
Thanks a lot. And we all wish a lot of recognition come to your work. And at least we all in our hearts have already given you Maxis and Padma Shri. And let all of them come to you physically also.
One advantage I have, Vasant, I forgot what I tell you. See, English is what connects the whole world on this one. Luckily, whatever interesting developing work or outstanding stories I do in Adike Patrike, or we do, civil society, if they are, we convince the editors, they gave it space, maybe 2 pages, sometimes even cover story. The Araknet textile dye has come as a cover story.
Okay.
So that way, this that gap is being filled. So it is being circulated that way. So that's an advantage.
The good work that you're doing is spreading to the national level as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were kind enough to give space. I don't think any national mainstream magazine will give you a space for a jackfruit or Kadu Kittale. No.
Correct.
So instead of tapping very new doors and finally cutting a sorry figure, I always prefer to write to a magazine who understand your strength and this content.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Padreji.
Lot of